In other news this afternoon, the man stabbed to death on a Las Vegas Strip pedestrian bridge Saturday night has been identified. That is the suspect in the case, but the victim has been identified as an off-duty police officer from Washington State. The Edmonds Police Department says Officer Tyler Steffens leaves behind a wife and 2 children. Edmonds is north of Seattle. 58-year-old Freddie Allen, who you just saw there, he is accused of murdering Steffens. Detectives say Steffens and another man got into an argument over petting dogs. Allen stepped in. Allen refused to appear in court this morning. He faces an open murder charge. We are following that story. We'll have a lot more on that in later newscasts. Meanwhile, another big story we're following this afternoon. It is the weather. It is breezy outside, and Sherry, we might border on windy too.
Yeah, we're definitely windy, John. Yeah. And you can see the palm trees behind Joe out in the field and a lot of dust too. So it's a windy last Monday of March, and we were expecting this. A Pacific storm is blowing into the west, and that will change those excessively hot weekend temperatures we had. Record-setting temperatures that were in the 90s. In fact, 93 on Saturday, an all-time record high for the month of March here in Las Vegas. Valley temperatures now are in the 70s, and you can see some of these wind gusts have already exceeded 40 miles an hour, 45 right now in St. Rose Parkway, 40 at Harry Reid International. So this is the first sign of change for us. We've had some of those big gusts in the mountains, too, up to 65 miles an hour. So not little gusts in the valley either. So we'll keep these winds. Wind advisories went into effect 10 o'clock this morning, so we're expecting these gusts 40, 45 miles an hour that will continue with the wind advisories in place. Also winter weather advisories for the mountains. We've got rain and snow on the way from California, and you can see there's a lot of it. How much will be left by the time it hits the mountains of California remains to be seen, but our chances for much needed showers and mountain snow coming up in your most accurate forecast. John?
Sherry, thank you very much. Developing this afternoon, a woman dead after being shot during a robbery. This was near Torrey Pines and Robindale. Metro police say the victim in this crime was in her 20s. Officers believe 3 men broke into the victim's home Friday afternoon while her roommates were elsewhere. The victim's boyfriend eventually chased the suspects, but with no luck. Detectives have not given any suspect description just yet. It was a deadly weekend on Valley roads. Metro police are now investigating 3 deadly crashes. The most recent happened last night. Detectives say a bicyclist was killed near Nellis and Twain. The victim, according to officers, drifted into traffic and was hit by a passing car. Investigators say the driver, though they don't believe, was impaired. On Saturday, an ATV driver died in a crash near Lamb and Cary. Metro police say Michael Miles was speeding and he collided with a flatbed truck. And then Saturday morning, a motorcyclist died near Rampart and Lake Mead. Metro police say the victim crashed into a car as that car pulled out of a driveway. The driver involved stayed at the scene. No charges are expected. A travel warning for you this afternoon if you're planning to head to Tijuana, to Mexico. The State Department says that it is seeing more crime and more kidnappings in the Baja region. Earlier this month, U.S. officials suggested Americans avoid remote locations in that part of Mexico. The murder rate there, they say, is rising, and U.S. citizens have also been the victims of kidnappings. Officials in Tijuana, though, they're actually optimistic. They don't believe that this warning is going to keep tourists away.